Welcome into a Week 8 Packers offensive breakdown. Packers win at 35-25, and I'm going to do something a little bit different. Going back to the old format of breaking down the offense in one video and the defense in another video. So let's see how that format works. Videos will be a little bit shorter. Hopefully that will get a little bit more attention instead of having to sit through a 38 minute video. But overall, it was a good performance for the Packers. So let's just dive into the film right away, see what happened. First play we're going to look at is a 3rd and 1. This is an incomplete pass to Romeo Doubs, but that's not what I want to highlight in this play. So we'll go back to the start. I just want to take a look at Christian Watson, who is up on the top of the screen here. And he's going to be a huge asset going forward. I'm just going to let this play and pay attention to this safety as well. All right, this safety sees the eyes of Love. He knows it's 3rd and short. Before Love is throwing this ball, he is driving down towards Doubs to make a play on the ball. All right, Love has not started his windup yet. If he is not getting pressure in his face, this is a touchdown to Watson. Here he is. He's ripping it. He feels that pressure, so he knows he's going to try to hit Romeo on the break. Gets the ball out. But because that safety was already taking that step up, if there wasn't pressure in his face, there is nobody behind Watson, and that is a walk-in touchdown. So if there isn't pressure, that is a significant play. But of course, offensive line isn't able to hold up, get pressure up the middle. We'll see it from the end zone angle here. Hayward just pushing that pocket back. All right, Jacobs could have done a little bit better in this game in his pass protection. He could step up a little bit into the chest of 41, and we'll see another play later where his blitz pickup isn't that great. But unfortunate on that, incomplete, contested catch for Doubs, not able to make it, and that's a punt. Next play, the run game is not working that well. We're going to take a look here at the tight ends. Musgrave is not necessarily the best blocking tight end, and we're going to see this as an example, but it's going to be a lot easier to see from the end zone view. But here we have a toss to the outside, trying to pin that backer inside, and you get a very short gain. But this will be much easier to see from this angle. So we can see Musgrave here. He's really supposed to just punch, make contact with Watt, and then wrap to the next guy. Right? That punch is really just to get that reach step for Kraft in order to take him over. But you can see Watt just gives him a shove. He's off balance. He's too late to 55. And Holcomb is just going to slide right in there where Musgrave is supposed to be picking him up. And instead, he forces the cutback for Jacobs, who slips. And that is a very short gain for the Packers. So Musgrave did not have a lot of snaps in this game. And I can see why Fitzpatrick is starting to get more and more playing time, especially in these running situations. Seems like every week Packers have a play where Romeo Doubs is just open in the middle of the field, and here we get another one. We'll go back to the start of this play, but this is a great play action. We're going to see the movement of the backers. Right, backers don't have a lot of depth here anyways. You got the I formation. You're going to assume it's run. So we're going to take a look at Patrick Queen here, right? He's read stepping, he's waiting, and then he's going to see, oh wait, it's going to be a pass. So he gets into his robot where he's going to try to get to Golden, but of course, if he's paying attention to the opposite side, he's not going to get there in time to cover Doubs. And this is just a perfect play call. You've got play action against a inverted cover 2. Right, inverted cover 2, you're given this one high look, but you're going to rotate. Boom, he's going to rotate up here. He's going to get the other deep half. Watt is going to be responsible for the flat. So you're going to have this inverted cover 2, and that's going to cause Joey Porter Jr. to bail out, and there's just going to be nobody there for Dobbs. So a really good call in this situation, and an explosive play of 24 yards. Next play, we're going to focus on the defense here, right? Watch the linebackers when this shift happens. So we're going to motion Kraft over, and you can see no one really slides, right? So you're going to have some form of zone coverage, right? You have a zone pressure. That's what it looks like. Obviously, he's going to be crashing down. He doesn't match up with Kraft, who's motioning across. And Love does a good job of recognizing this, right? We've got 25, who is supposed to be covering Kraft, and we've got a blocker here, and then we got one blocker here, right? So this is the perfect read on this RPO. Kraft just has to make one guy miss, break another tackle, or drag him into the end zone. That's just a really good job by Love recognizing this, because this could easily be a handoff, right, to the other side. But instead, going to RPO that, get it to Kraft. Kraft is going to do the rest and get into the end zone for his first touchdown. We'll watch it from this angle as well. You can see not a lot of urgency from 25. I think they're trying to disguise this a little bit. Right? Then he realizes what's happening, realizes the RPO here. Goes on that full sprint. Not the greatest angle. And a touchdown for Kraft. Next play, Packers are just going to do a simple stick concept, right? They're going to get Kraft out into the flat, and this is going to end up working like a pick, right? So we've got man coverage here. Patrick Queen in man. We got press here. So Watson's going to do a good job of pressing vertical. Here he is. And then that stick is going to be a natural pick, right? He's got his back turned to him, right? So if there's contact with Queen, that's really, you know, it's incidental contact. It's not an intentional pick play, at least in the eyes of the referees. Kraft gets it in the flat, takes it upfield, makes a guy miss, keeps going. Good effort from Doubs, right? Getting the block downfield. And that is a nice 33-yard gain for the Packers. So Kraft's big night continues. Now here we are in the second quarter, and we're going to pay attention at the bottom of the screen. LaFleur was not necessarily too passive this game. He took his shots, and this is going to be an example of one of those shots. It is really unfortunate Dobbs gets tangled up, right? But this is in the second quarter, early in the second quarter, 1st and 10. And you're going to take a shot. You got that one-on-one shot, one high safety. Dobbs beats his guy, and unfortunate that their feet get tangled up, but that is a worthy shot, right? So I know we've accused Matt LaFleur of being a little bit too conservative with his play calls, but I think in this game he had a pretty good mix of checkdowns, safe plays, and also taking deep shots downfield. Now we got a 3rd and 5 from Green Bay's 15-yard line. This is a huge play by Jordan Love. Obviously, a lot of people are going to say, hey, that's luck. Hey, that's pass interference, but I don't think so. Obviously, floating the ball up there, that could be deemed as a turnover-worthy play. Yeah, really unfortunate for Deshaun Elliott there at the end as well. But here we're going to get a 6-man pressure, right? They're double mugging. Got 2 guys in the A-gap. They're going to bring that pressure. And the O-line does a pretty good job. Jacobs, as I said earlier, could do a much better job. Right here, he's just got to stick his head into his chest. He's got to meet him at the gap, right? But he just softens up and lets him push him over, and that's going to get pressure into Love's face. All right, so this throw, while he's getting hit, obviously it's going to be a little bit of a duck. And then you've got initiated contact. This is why it is not a penalty. You have the contact that is initiated by the defense. He is not looking towards the ball. Simply, all Kraft does is let the momentum of the defender lead him outside. I know there's going to be people that are not agreeing with that, but Kraft, he's able to look back for the ball, make a play on the ball, and get downfield for a huge gain. Now, this is going to be a really nice play call as well. We're going to take a look over here. You've got 4 over 3, right? And they're in some sort of man alignment off the ball. So Love is going to assume that there's going to be pressure here, and you're actually going to get pressure from the slot. And I think this might be something that the Steelers showed on film, because in this red area, this is the perfect call from LaFleur. Hey, we've got this swing screen. We got 3 blockers on 3 guys. All we need to do is get the edge. And that's an easy touchdown for Savion Williams. All right. Fitzpatrick could do a much better job here. Right. He's obviously trying to protect anything on the interior, but there is so much depth here between the defenders that really he's just got to get up here and get ready to seal for the next most dangerous man. And you'd like to see Golden and Brooks take better angles here, right? Get more outside. You know the screen is going to be outside, so if you can get that seal, that's going to be even closer to a walk-in touchdown. But hey, it works out. They're able to double team that one guy, and Savion is quick enough to get in the end zone. Here we've got another crazy play to Christian Watson. Again, stretching the field vertically. And this is a great throw by Love. It could have been better. Obviously, it could have been better. Right? From the side angle, when I first watched this, I am not pleased at all. Right? It looks like he's got enough space here to set his feet, and this safety has already bit down, and there's one defender to beat. If he just puts air on this and gets it in the middle of the field, Watson's just going to kind of get up there and walk in for a touchdown. But instead, when we watch it from the end zone angle, you'll understand why this throw is a little bit tougher. So we got him rolling out. This is much better by Jacobs with that pass protection, right? Meeting that blitzer head on. But here we got Love rolling out. Could he set his feet? Maybe. Right? He's got his shoulders way too open. Right? That's why the ball isn't necessarily that accurate. But fits it right in between the 2 defenders for a big play down inside the 10-yard line. So big play by Christian Watson, able to adjust his route and come down with that as well. And here we've got the touchdown by Jacobs, and this is just really good vision by him again. And we're also going to get a nice block by Watson that's going to enable this outside cut where he's just got to beat one guy. All right, so if we look at the defense, right, the defensive front, all these guys are accounted for, and we see these backers are all to the left side. All right, so basically, if we get this block, if we get this seal, and we go outside, it's just one guy to beat, right? So this is, again, just a good play call, right? Watson able to get just enough of a push here to get that seal. Jacobs with the vision, able to jump cut, get outside, and then beat the defense to the pylon for a score. So that's just a really good job here by the Packers. You can see all that flow, right? We've got this down flow. So the backers, they see that. They're going to try to fit this gap. And instead, Jacobs is going to bounce that outside. And he's got a one-on-one with number 26. Makes a miss and gets to the edge. Then immediately after, we have the 2-point try. And this is going to be a great play. A little bit of a mess up by 24. All right, so Watson is going to take that attention. He's going to have an outside stem and then get vertical. And 24 is going to get hands on him. And that's going to be just enough time to get Doubs open. All right, so I think realistically, Porter probably shouldn't be jamming him in that situation. And he should just let Ramsey take Watson. And he should be responsible for that outbreaker. But of course, there's a miscommunication there. And that's an easy 2-point play for the Packers. Later in the game, Packers got the ball moving with Emanuel Wilson on the ground. Obviously ended up with more total yards than Josh Jacobs. But this is just going to be another good run where it's intended to go inside, but it's going to get bounced out. And this is just going to be a good job by Kraft on the outside, sealing it. Here we've got a cover 3, right? We've got a cover 3. You got those 3 deep with a blitz on the inside. And that blitz going to the interior, you can see the flow from the offensive line. Everything is going to the left. All we need is that seal on the outside. You can see Patrick Queen as well get stuck inside. So he's then got to try to work outside, and Kraft has a very nice block on TJ Watt, holds him just long enough, and that is a very good run by Wilson. Good recognition, realizing that the middle's probably going to be clogged up here, but let me bounce this outside. We got the numbers advantage, and gets a nice first down for the Packers. All right, this next play was interesting to me for multiple reasons. Here, we're at the very start. Golden is late out of the huddle. He's got to figure out where he's got to line up. So that we got some rookie issues there. And we got Christian Watson. You can see Jordan Love lifts the leg. Hey, come on, waving the hand, waving the hand. Come on, let's go, motion. Watson a little bit too slow on that motion. You make it a 2x2 stack formation. And that's just great yak by Kraft. All right, so we got two corners. We essentially got a corner clearing out on the bottom. We've got a small kind of like stick route on the outside. And you've got Doubs going vertical and taking the corner. And then you've got a little bit of a trail or angle route that's just going to clear things up, right? So they're trying to get in the way of this man coverage. So Doubs does a good job. He's just running his route, but he makes some contact, right? And that's just going to give enough time, enough space for Kraft to come underneath and get another touchdown for Green Bay. And now you got a Packer 10-point lead, 29-19 at this point. So you're going to show, hey, we're going to run the ball. We've shown this so many times. You bring in this receiver into that C gap, right? We're probably going to be running some form of duo, but instead, this is going to be a play action. So there you show that fake, and look at the linebackers. Right, these linebackers are all sucked up to the line of scrimmage. Everyone else is in this nice shell for pass protection with an extra blocker in case anyone comes free. And you're going to have Watson with this nice cross across the field. And this is a tough assignment for Patrick Queen. He's got to turn around. He's got a robot, right? He's got to roll over. He's got to get there. And he's not able to do it. All right, so really good play design there. Obviously, they're assuming you're going to run with that 10-point lead, and you use that speed, get across the field horizontally for a big gain by Watson. I know I haven't talked a ton about the run game. I've had a few plays, but this time we're going to focus on Sean Rhyan, and he got a little bit more playing time this week. There was some alternating, but you can kind of see in this play why he's lost his job to Jordan Morgan. Here he is in the middle of the fields, right? He's engaged with Benton right in the middle of the field, and he just gets ragdolled. Just gets thrown down 95, able to stuff that play. And then you got the pursuit off the edge. So something that happened quite frequently is you got TJ Watt barreling down. So if any pressure inside is going to bottle things up, he's coming around and making a play. And he did that a few times throughout this game. But that is just not a good look. Probably not going to be a fun film session for Rhyan this week. And then we'll focus on one more run play. You're going to see a little bit of a jolt. Packers just received a turnover. They had the fumble caused by Edgerrin Cooper, and you have the momentum, and now you get a great push from the offensive line and a great seal, and Savion Williams just doing great work as a receiver. You've got both tight ends doing a good job here, right? You got Fitzpatrick in there on a run blocking down. You got Kraft. You got Tom getting a nice seal. You got Savion working downfield. So this is just a really good play for the Packers. A nice toss, getting the first down. I'll watch it from the end zone angle as well. Easier to see the box, and you can see they made a change this drive, right? Putting Morgan back in. You get a nice combo there, and a good me call by Jenkins just to seal that backside pursuit. You can see Wilson fighting through traffic, able to move the ball downfield, and move closer to a score. All right, so that's going to do it for the offensive breakdown. Just overall, a good performance from the offense. 454 total yards. And the one area that they probably could have improved was third down. They were 5 of 12 on third down. They obviously had some missed field goals, so this game could have been a little bit more in favor of Green Bay. But Love had a historic night, right? He had, no sacks, no turnovers, had well over 300 yards, and obviously a big game from Kraft. It was a rough game in terms of run blocking, except for late, once the game was a little bit out of hand. It was a clean game overall. Obviously, no turnovers, no sacks. So let's hope that this continues against the Panthers. Finally, a win that is not 27 points. But thank you guys for watching, and check out the defense video if you haven't, and we'll see you next week.